Assalamu alaikum. My dear students, I am Mohammad Abdullah Murad Chaudhary, Senior Lecturer, Department of Agricultural Studies, Milestone College, Uttara Dhaka. Welcome to my today's online lecture.
Chapter 5, Section 4. The section name is Tree Felling and Wood Collection, and this section is very important for your CQ and MCQ as well. After watching this lecture, you are able to understand the time of tree felling or time of rotation, methods of tree felling, wood seasoning and treatment, wood preservation, necessity of preserving tree felling. So, what do you mean by time of tree felling or time of rotation? That means the duration after the seedling or plantation, when it attains maturity, becomes usable. That time is called time of duration. That means after planting the seedlings to a maturity stage, this period of time is time of tree felling, or tree felling before maturity does not produce a good quality of wood. There will be three times of three steps, or three time is for tree felling or time of rotation. That is, first one is short time of rotation, second one is medium time of rotation, third one is long time of rotation. That means all type of forest plants you cannot cut whenever you want, because there will be specific time period for specific plant for uses. That is why you cannot make all type of furniture for all type from all type of wood. So that is why you have to maintain this time of rotation. So let's talk about the first one is the time period is about 10 to 20 years of rotation. Example is Akashmoni, Shimul, Telikadam, Keora, Pine, Babla, Jhau. These type of plants you can cut after 10 to 20 years later. And for and you can use this plant for fuel wood, for livestock feed and pulp. Otherwise you are not able to make any type of others activities from this plant trees woods. Next one is medium time of rotation. The time of rotation will be 20 to 30 years, and the plant name is uh, gamar, shishu, mango, koroi, khoer, bokul, haritoki, chatian, chandan, rendi koroi, or renti. These type of plants you can cut after 20 to 30 years later. I can use this plant wood is this plant partially hardwood, and you can use or prepare pillars or wood belong to this time rotation. Otherwise, if you make any type of other furniture, that will be not strong enough. Next one is long time of rotation, where the time of rotation is 40 to 50 years of rotation. An example of this plant is Shegun, Gorgon, Shal, Jarul, Shilkoroi, Mahogany, Telshoot, Chapalish, Jackfruit, Blackberry. And you can use this plant. This is very hardwood, and you can use for preparing wood or any type of furniture as well. So you have to memorize this time and name uses is very important for your CQ and MCQ as well. Now the method for tree felling. So how can you fail when you cut the tree? How can you cut that one? Is very important. The tree may not be cut. The tree may be cut at the lower level of the soil as possible, because always more, because the lower level is more thick and quality wood, and cutting of tree at 10 cm above the soil, maximum quality of wood. And before felling, the branches of the tree should be cleaned. Thus the felling of tree can be controlled. And when you cut, you can use the saw is very good, and the quality of the saw will be not destroyed. Thus the loss of wood can completely be controlled. At the first, the direction towards the tree has to be felt. Cutting with saw should be on that side. The wedge should be inserted in that the other or opposite direction. And when they cut the tree after felling on the soil should be cut into pieces, but the measurement will depend on the uses of of the wood, and it depends to person to person. The round piece is called a log, and the sawn wood has length, breadth, and thickness. The sawn wood having length more than 15 centimeter and thickness 4 centimeter. At first, the two-third portion of the tree should be cut 10 centimeter above the soil, and you have to make it possible whatever your desired plant. You have a look, and you can find this picture in your textbook, and page number will be 196. It might be depends on your old or new book. This is the, if this is the plant you want to fall down this plant in this direction, that is why this is the first cutting here. You can use saw or you can use X as well here. And here this is the plant, and tree will fall down in this direction, so that is why you cut here, and you make the second cutting here a little bit, and you put the wedges here. So if you put the wedge here, this one is fall down this direction. So this type of this is the way you can cut the plant. If you not follow these steps, then you will be very big trouble. Otherwise you don't know where the plant will be fall down, and the wood quality will be lost as well. So make sure you follow this method. If the tree will follow in this direction, you have to cut here, and second cut will be here, and put the wedges here as well. Then this one will be if fall down this direction. Now after cutting the wood, you have to measure how many timber or log, how many wood we can get. For this you calculate with the law which is called Newton's law. The correct volume of logs may be determined with the help of this law. So this is the formula you obtained, or you can get here. The volume will be 0.08 multiply C1 in plus first bracket close 4 into C2 plus C3 divided by 6 into length. So this is called Newton's law. You have to memorize this law. Here C1 equal to circumference of the narrow end, C2 equal to circumference of the middle place, and C3 is circumference of the broad end. This is all about the log. So you have to memorize this Newton's law. Later on at the end of this lecture, I'll show you the math regarding this law. This is the others law where you can measure the usable wood, where the this equation name is Humpas law. According to the Humpas law, the formula will be volume equal to middle circumference of log divided by 4, or is square into length. This is the formula of Humpas law. It can be used. How much usable wood will be available from a log may be calculated with this formula. This formula as well very important. You have to memorize this one. Next one is, if you know the length, weight, or thickness, you can easily calculate the volume of the wood, usable wood. So this is the another formula. If you know the length, weight, and thickness, this is very important as well. And here the unit will be cubic meter. Next point is, after collecting the wood, how you preserve the wood, or how you seasoning the wood. So that is why you have to know what is wood seasoning and treatment. Basically, wood seasoning is the process where through water is essential for plant in living state. After cutting, the lower the moisture content, the higher will be the longevity of wood. So lowering the moisture content of wood to 12% of its weight of wood quality seems to be good. Goon, insects, or other fungus will be not attacked in that time. So the removal of water from wood by a control method to ensure higher longevity is called seasoning. This is the simple. So from the wood, removal the water and control method ensuring higher longevity for long time is called wood seasoning. So there will be two type of wood seasoning. The first one is air drying. So how can you use the air drying method? Air drying method, the definition of air drying is drying of wood after sowing in open air is called as air drying. That means you collect the wood and leave it underneath the open air is called air drying. but very thinly sliced woods may show features or may be carved when left under strong sun in open air. That is why these type of woods are kept in shade 30 to 40 cm above the ground in layers. The wood layers are arranged in such a way that aeration is ensured surrounding every wood pieces. The wood pieces cannot be left in a disarranged manner, which may result in carving of wood. Air drying process of wood treatment requires at least one season and moisture content remains near the 12%. Kiln drying. Kiln drying is not similar to the air drying. In this process, we have to organize the wood sheet and in a airtight room. Generally, kiln drying method or air drying is used to try large amount of wood at a time. And in this method, air can move between two sheets, wood sheets, and the wood sheets are kept in a large airtight room. And 3 to 4 centimeter thick and two pieces of wood are inserted at the two pitches between two wood and sheets, and so that air can move between the wood sheet. Thereafter, at first, the moisture content of wood is to be increased by increasing water vapor inside the airtight room, and then the water from the wood is to be drained out by the same time applying heat. That is method. Wood seasoning by this process requires 3 weeks and moisture content lower at 12%, and the duration of seasoning may vary with the species of the tree. So the process of kiln drying is put the water vapor inside the airtight room on the wood and immediately apply heat. That is called kiln drying. So if observe this picture, the left hand side picture you can find in your textbook, which is called 197, and here the wood, organize the wood and in a controlled way. Have a look and leave on the open air for drying. And yeah, this is the colorful picture as well. You can see this is the log of wood and organize the horizontal parallel way, and leave some space here for insert the air inside in this empty space. And this is the way of air drying. Next one is this is the kiln drying method the process. This is airtight room. This one is open for your understanding, and this is the wood sheet, and this is not adjacent to the floor. Here is some wood keep for make the space underneath the soil, and here provide the water vapor inside the airtight room and immediately provide the heat, and this is called kiln drying method. Now, how can you preserve the wood? We cut the wood and preserve, season the wood. Now the way is preserving the wood. In this way, we can use one preservative is called CCA. This is very very important than of preserving the wood. This CCA mixed with three component, which is called, or ingredient, which is called chromium oxide, copper oxide, and arsenic pentaoxide. So the percentage is chromium oxide is 47.5, copper oxide is 18.5%, and arsenic pentoxide is 34%. You can get this chemical or this CCA mixture straight away from the market or shop, or you can mix it with this component. The preservatives may be prepared by purchasing this chemical separately or mixing rightly. Then 2.5% solution of the preservatives is made by mixing with water. So 2.5% this chemical mixed with the water. This solution is pushed into the wood and bamboo by special chemical arrangement of giving high pressure. It is recommended to push 0.4 pound of preservatives into the cubic foot of wood. In this method, wood becomes ready for use after 7 days of treatment. Using CCA preservative may prevent the rotting of stored woods, even for different type of insects, mites, or goon as well. So this is very important for wood preservation, and this is very important for your CQ and MCQ exam. Now, why you need to preserve a tree felling? or preserving tree felling, because if you do not follow this process, you will not get the expected or predicted wood. Like if you do not follow the method of time of tree felling, or time of rotation, time of or method of tree felling, or season the tree wood properly, like air drying, kiln drying. And if you do not preserve the wood properly, then you will not get your expected wood. Or if you do not get the expected wood, then you cannot use in the properly in the future. So you have to follow this, and this is very very important. Now I will show you some important math, which is uh, here the stem is the length of a Gorgon log is 6 meter, and its circumference of the narrow end is 1.5 and meter, at the middle is 2 meter, and at the broad end is 2.5 meter. So what is the actual volume of the log? We know that according to the Newton's law, the volume formula is 0.08 multiply C1 plus 4 multiply C2 bracket close plus C3 by 6 into length. From the stem, we know that C1 is 1.5 meter, C2 is 2 meter, and C3 is 2.5 meter, and length is 6 meter. So if we put down the data straight away, then we can get the expected solution. Here is the solution: 0.08 into 1.5, which is C1. Here C2 is 2 meter and C3 is 2.5 meter, and the length is 6, and 0.08 into formula, and the 6 is formula. So the unit will be cubic meter. Here is the calculation, and the actual volume will be 0.96 cubic meter. So this is the solution. So you can get this type of math in your CQ and MCQ as well. This is very very important. Next one is for usable wood. So you know that according to the Humpas law, the formula is middle circumference of log and divided by 4 square into length. So if they give you this stem, like the Gorgon log is 6 meter, and narrow end is 1.5 meter, middle is 2 meter, and the broad is 2.5 meter. So how much usable wood will be available? Here middle circumference of log is 2 meter and divided into 4. So if you have got put the data here, you can got 1.5 cubic meter. This is as well important. So this math is very very important. So so this is all about today's lecture of this section, which is tree felling and wood collection. You can get this in your textbook, page number 194 to 198, and you can get the MCQ questions like ingredients name of CCA, which we know that the ingredient name is copper oxide 47.5%, copper chromium oxide. Copper oxide is 18.5%, and then arsenic pentaoxide is 34%. And this is the answer. So if they give you this type of MCQ, you can easily answer the questions. Even you can get the math as well from this section. Even you can and get CQ question like method of tree felling, then time of tree rotation, this type of CQ questions.
Very much, my dear students, for watching today's online lecture. If you got any problem, contact your subject teacher. They must help you. Thank you very much.